I'm sure most of you guys don't know this, but I used to be like a top 10 Rizzler when it comes to what the fuck? Rank 10 Rizzler, the hell? Nowadays, I've fallen off. I feel like I haven't talked to a girl since 1987. I feel like it's been about a minute and a half since I've actually communicated with a girl seriously. And I was thinking back, like, why? Why have I not talked to a girl in such a long time? When you're a kid, everything is just sunshine, rainbows, and dog shit. Like, you can go up to a girl and you can say whatever the fuck, and she probably won't even understand what you're saying. Like, you probably sound like goo goo gaga fuck bitch shit, right? She probably wouldn't even know what you're saying. And I actually utilized this when I was a kid without even realizing it. And I've already told this story before, but when I was like 4 or 5 years old in preschool, I just walked up to this girl who I thought was like kind of pretty, and I asked her to marry me. To my surprise, she said yes. I mean, of course, at the time, I was surprised, but now thinking about it, I was a very handsome and charming man back then. Any girl would have fallen for me at that point in my life. But no, she actually said yes. And it was kind of weird because I didn't know what to do at that point. You know, I was a 4 or 5 year old little kid. I had, zero hairs on my balls, absolutely no clue about reality. All I knew was how to add 2 plus 2 and how to play house. I didn't know that people had to sign like prenuptial agreements and whatnot, so I didn't really have to bring that up. We ended up not marrying, of course. But then when I graduated from kindergarten and moved on to, the big leagues, the pro leagues, when I moved on to elementary school, I started to really understand and grasp how to talk to girls a little bit more. Now, I'm not saying that I was an absolute master, but I was still, honing my skills and honing my abilities to become the best trainer of Pokemon history. And so when I was in first grade, I actually switched schools between kindergarten and first grade, right? And so I was in a new class with new people that I didn't know and everything like that. And I thought that there's this one girl in my class who had freckles and everything like that. And I just thought she was really pretty. And so one day I went up to her and like for some reason in my little 6 year old brain, I felt like if it worked in the movies, then it would work in real life. And so I went up to her one day in music class. We're just sitting there in music class. The music teacher is doing whatever the fuck we were doing that day. And I go up to her and she was sitting down kind of like by herself. And so I like walk up to her. I sit next to her. I whisper in her ear, I think I'm in love with you. And to be honest, hey, I don't know how that didn't work. She was freaked out and she like almost ran away. She like stood up and like went somewhere. And at that time I was like, maybe I just had her nervous because like, maybe she doesn't get too much attention. I just had her nervous, shiver me timbers and whatnot. But no, she did not like me at all. And I sounded like a fucking weirdo. It's all good though. It was a learning experience, of course. Now, moving on into second and third grade, I ended up finding a new crush. And this crush I thought was way more beautiful than the rest. This was like a diamond in the rough. This was like the queen of all queens. And because of this, I thought that I would have way too much competition. And so I had to do something that no one else would do. And I pretended to be her dog. I already told this story in a different video as well. You can go watch that if you want. It's a very embarrassing story. I want to kill myself. But I'm not gonna lie, it was a good experience. I think when I was a kid, I was more locked into my kinks than I am now as a 19-year-old grown-up, male, buff, sexy, handsome individual. Back then, I feel like I knew what I wanted. And I knew that in order to get something, you had to strive for it. You had to go for it. I would write notes to that girl and I would ask her like questions and then we would just talk, passing notes to each other and stuff like that. Little cute you know what I'm saying? Giggling to each other. I remember when I told her I liked her, she said that she liked me back. It really baffled me at the time. And to be honest, I didn't believe her. When she told me straight up, she literally told me straight up that she liked me. I asked her, she told me she liked me, and I still didn't believe it. I mean, it's not like as a fucking 7 year old we were gonna date or anything like that. But like, what the fuck? Calm down. It's all good. It's all in the past. It doesn't matter. Okay. But yeah, in third grade, she ended up telling me that she did like me back, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. And in fourth grade, we got to know each other a little bit more. It's not like we dated, but like we started to hang out at recess a little bit more. Lunch, recess, everything you could ask for from an elementary schooler. Yeah. And in fourth grade, both me and her moved to different schools. She moved to a completely different state, but I just moved schools. And because I moved to a new school, I had to make new friends and find a new crush. And so in this new school, there's this one girl that I had my eye on, right? She looked kind of similar to like the girl from first grade who had like a lot of freckles and stuff like that. Redhead, whatever. I don't know why, but I was like kind of into redheads back then. Maybe it's because of like Disney Channel, but I was into like white, redhead, freckle girls. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But at the time, I liked her. And I didn't tell her until later in the year when we started to, talk to each other more. I got her email and we would like email each other back and forth. If y'all know like the struggle of emailing someone on like the school email accounts, and like it takes forever to like get messages back and forth because like it's email. Like who the fuck does that? You know, at the time that was all we had. So we would email each other back and forth, and I eventually confessed to her that I liked her. And she didn't like me back in the same way, but we still stayed friends. And it's actually one of the rare occasions where like I've confessed to a girl and we've stayed friends after that. Cuz even the year following, like we were still really close friends. But anyways, after she told me that she didn't like me, I ended up finding a different crush. And this crush was probably the crush that I had the most feelings for in the history of ever. Okay, this was my 5th and 6th grade crush. We were already friends at this point, right? Because this was closer to the end of the year, maybe like middle to the end of the year. We'd already talked to each other a little bit more. We'd already gotten to know each other just like from talking in class and everything like that. And I did the whole thing all over again. I did the whole like talking over email and stuff like that. Bro, having conversations back and forth through emails is so fucking frustrating. It'll be like longer response times between each message than like NASA talking to the International Space Station. Holy shit. I remember I would like ask her something and then she would respond like 10 minutes later, and then I wouldn't see that message until like 20 minutes later because emails just took so long to register for some reason. And then I would send another message back, and then that would take her 10 minutes to see, but then it wouldn't register until like 20 minutes later, and then she would fucking see that like 40 minutes later, and oh my god. Anyways, I did eventually tell her over email that I liked her. She did not like me back, but it was all good. Later in the future, I talked to her and she said that she liked me after I confessed to her. So there you go. If you guys need like confirmation that it works, if you confess to someone and it works, it does. But she didn't tell me that she liked me. Like, why would you not tell me that? But even then, like, even though she didn't like me back, we still stayed friends all the way through 5th grade and all the way through 6th grade. We were really close friends. We talked like pretty much every day in class, recess, lunch, fuck, whatever. We did not fuck. I'm just saying, like, I'm just using it as a filler word, okay? Um, anyways, we would still talk to each other over email. We actually graduated from the school email to the personal email. Yeah, clap it up, boys, clap it up. But I just want to say that yeah, it honestly works if you just confess. Sometimes. I mean, when you're older, probably not, but like when you're a kid, like, you feel what I'm saying? Rank 10 global Riz, bro. I swear, anytime I like liked a girl, she would like me back. It was like a 75% chance that she would like me back. You feel what I'm saying? Honestly, I should be taking advice from my fucking like elementary school self, man. I used to be him when I was in elementary school. Nowadays, like, I haven't seen pussy since the day I came out one, and I don't even fucking remember that. But yeah, I just want to tell a couple of quick stories, really random. That's it.